Good morning, good morning, good morning. This week, I want to talk about self-worth. I want to talk about self-love, and I want to talk about treating yourself the way you deserve to be treated, the way everybody deserves to be treated, not being down on yourself just because you don't see yourself as perfect. And I have a metaphor that I'm going to share with you that proves every single word of what I'm going to say. So I'm going to share with you a video that I put on my social medias a couple of years ago now, and it's literally, I was thinking about self-worth, and I was thinking about self-love, and I was thinking about how we see ourselves as we age, and how we pick up baggage, and how we kind of go through our lives. And I was thinking about something to share this week with regard to that, because it was playing heavily on my mind, and I came across this video that I posted, and it is the most perfect thing to share. It is the most perfect metaphor to share with you, that I cannot say it any better than I said it, than that Jane said it a couple of years ago. So I'm going to share it with you. But before I do that, I just want to say hi. I want to say hello and welcome back if you've been here before. If you're new, hello. It's really nice to see you. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you've stumbled across whatever form of me you have stumbled across. Yeah, like, share, subscribe, stick around, because I'm always here, lurking around social media somewhere, and it's really nice to get my message across to people. So yeah, if you're new, I love that you're here. If you've come back for more, I love that you've come back for more. So anyway, back to that metaphor. I'm just going to play it for you, and then yeah, I'll pop back in at the end and see what you thought. Hello, it's me. I'm back with another little snippet of goodness to share with you. I have a metaphor for life for you today. Sounds a bit deep, doesn't it? I heard this a little while ago now, and it changed something in my brain, and I want to share it with you because it's a really simple metaphor about being worthy or worthless or not. Let me just tell it, because I'm rambling and you're probably lost by now. So anyway, I have here, this is a $50 note. This is the biggest denomination of money I had in my purse. In your own money, it could be $100, it could be 50 quid, it could be you know, whatever you've got, but the biggest note in my purse was a $50 note. And so I'm gonna use this $50 note for the purposes of this. Now, if I said to you, to any of you watching this, do you want this $50? If I was gonna hand it to you right now, if I was like, here you go, do you want this? I bet you would all go, yeah, I want $50. It's free. Of course I want $50. Yeah, it's worth $50. It's a lot of money. You know, $50 New Zealand is probably about, I don't know, maybe $35, $40 American. It's worth 25 quid British. Yeah, of course I want it. It's money, you know. But at the minute, it's pretty clean and it's a bit pristine. And it doesn't look like it's been used very much. So what if I now took this $50 note and I buried it in the garden, got it covered in soil, you know, and then brought it back out. And then once I'd buried it in the garden, I then went and chucked it in a bucket of water. So now it's muddy because it's got the soil, the dry soil that was in my garden, and I've mixed that with water. And so of course that's made mud. So now the $50 is covered in mud. And then I went and I thought, oh, wouldn't it be really funny now it's wet and covered in mud, if I went and stuck it in, I don't know, took it down the beach and buried it in the sand, and then, you know, took it out, and now not only is it covered in mud and wet, but it's covered in sand, because I've, you know, the sand stuck to the water and the mud, and so now it's a little bit battered and bruised, you know. It's had life happen to it, and it's now not looking quite so good, and it's probably feeling a little bit sorry for itself. Now, if I then offered you that $50 note how many of you would still take it? I am guessing pretty much every single one of you would still take that $50 note off me in that state, because after all, it's still worth $50, right? It's still got value. It's still something that we can take and use and actually spend. It hasn't dropped its value just because it's a little bit battered and bruised. It hasn't changed in value just because life's happened to it. And so I want you to think about yourself in the same way. Just because you've been hurt, just because you've had experiences happen to you, just because things have gone on in your life that you wouldn't perhaps have chosen, just because somebody's been mean to you, because somebody's called you names in the past, just because something or someone has hurt you, that does not make you worth less. You are still incredible. You are still you. You are still amazing. You still have so much to give. If you had, if you looked at yourself like this $50 note, you're the $50 note in this condition, pristine, clean, amazing, or the $50 note that's battered and bruised and muddy and dirty and covered in sand and water, they are still worth the same thing. And that is how I want you to see yourself. You are not defined by what has happened to you. And if you are seeing yourself as worthless or worth less, just because you've had experiences happen to you, then you need to stop. You need to stop now, because that is not who you are. You are not worth less. You are this $50 note. And no matter what happens to it, no matter what it goes through, no matter what it experiences, it is still worth $50. It does not change the fact that it's still worth $50. And so I want you to understand that it doesn't matter what's happened to you or what you think or what you perceive about yourself. You are worthy. You are worthy of all that you were worthy the day you were born. Nothing has made you worthless just because you've been through life, just because you've been through the mill. Take that metaphor, take the metaphor of the $50 note and apply it to yourself, because you are still incredible and you're still worth the same amount, no matter what. So can you see how that $50 note literally didn't change, no matter how battered and bruised or old and crusty and dirty it got? It's still $50, and I bet every single one of you would have taken it in the pristine form and in the battered and dirty and muddy and wet form that it was in. So look at yourself like that, right? You go through things in your life. We go through things, we go through experiences, but they help us to grow. They don't diminish our self-worth. We don't just go through things, we grow through things. And I want you to remember that. And I want you to think of yourself like that $50 note. You are perfect the way you are. You have experienced things, and that in my eyes makes you more valuable, not less. You need to always remember that, always. And that is my message for this week. So that's it. I hope that's been useful. Use that metaphor whenever you're feeling a little bit down on yourself, because you are wonderful and you are perfect. You deserve everything you want, and you are so worthy. I see it. It's time you did too. Okay, that's it from me. Bye bye.